Hello, everybody. Say hello in the comments field. Hello, this is Caroline, and today is my 7th YouTube live broadcast. Today is Thursday, May 7th, 2020. So I'm so glad you could join me today for this broadcast. I've got quite a show for you. Hello, Smart Light 2007. Hello. All right. So I've got a whole lineup for you guys today. Hi, Walter from Germany, 6 hours ahead your time. Hi, Walter from Germany. Thank you for joining again. So you're one of my regulars now, or you're one of my regulars that will admit you're one of my regulars. All right. So awesome. Thank you so much. I hope everybody can hear me. I am doing a little bit of a different setup today. I've got my Canon EOS working. Hi, Cornerstone Media Group. I know who you are. I know that's Mark. Hi, Mark. And I'm doing a little bit of different setup today. So I've got my Canon EOS working today. I've got my Snowball microphone working today. So hopefully everything is good. And so let's start off like I do every show with a few housekeeping notes. Number one, I am not a doctor, nor do I play one on TV. There's no medical advice here. All right, I do this every Thursday at 3 o'clock while we are sheltering in place during our global pandemic. This is a place of positivity. All right, please, let's stay positive. I'd rather you guys stay at home, shelter at home, watch me, watch the projects I do here on YouTube, watch all sorts of YouTube stuff, not related to me, than go out and get in trouble. Okay, so I want y'all to stay safe. And okay, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm going to try this. I'm so bad at pronunciation. Love you from Istanbul. All right. You made my home smart. Oh, thank you. All right. And Smart Light, guess what? I just hooked up my TV with Alexa and it's awesome. Yay! Woohoo! Yes. Well, if you're at home, might as well make your home smart, right? All right. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for watching my video. Thank you for being here today. And last but not least, okay, as I say on every show, please mute your Alexa. As I will say the wake word frequently, and I probably will trigger your device or wear headphones. It's up to you. Anyway, but I will say it and I can't edit it out. It's a live broadcast. All right. So moving on, let's talk about the agenda for today. The agenda for today is I'm going to update you on my stuff from last week, the stuff I discussed last week. Today, I have a little theme for today. I usually don't have themes for these shows, but today I'm going to have a theme and it's going to be about gaming. And I think, we're staying home. I think we've got to entertain ourselves with media. And so I'm going to talk about gaming on Alexa. I'm going to talk about gaming on Raspberry Pi. And I'll close out the show with, I'm going to tell you what is the video for next week. And that's what you get for, watching the show live with me. And let's see. So updates from last week. So this week, 2 days ago, Tuesday, I released a new video. It's how to install AVS, Alexa Voice Service, on Raspberry Pi 4. Here it is. Okay, so they actually released this a while ago. It's just I just didn't get around to making another video on my channel. But this is, you can now make your Raspberry Pi 4 a little bit of an Alexa-ish device. It doesn't work exactly like an Alexa, so that's why they don't want it. They want me calling it, how to make an Alexa. But essentially, that's what we're doing. It's just installing Alexa voice service. Technically, is what we're saying here. Anyway, so I released that video 2 days ago. I hope you'll check it out. Let's see, what else do I have here? Next. Oh yeah, okay, so last week I drowned an iPhone on this show. So if you missed that, go back to last week's show and you can watch me drowned an iPhone. It was already cracked, but it was still, you could still see the screen was still on, and we were trying to just get rid of it at that point. How is my Google Home doing? My Google Home is great. I still use my Google Home. I use it here in the office. Anyway, so I drowned my iPhone last week, and then I woke up and that was kind of like late in the day for me. And then the next morning, I woke up. It was 7 a.m. I think, and I did post this on my Twitter page. So if you're not following me on Twitter, you might consider following me on Twitter because that's where I do my updates. Let me give you my Twitter handle, and you can check out my Twitter feed right here. Okay, let's see. Okay, so anyway, this is my Twitter feed, or I just put it in the link. Anyway, so at 7 o'clock in the morning, most of the screen had disappeared, but the phone is still alive. The phone is still working. And then 11 hours later, at over 24 hours after this show aired and I drowned the phone, it was still hanging on by a thread. The battery, I mean, it was just like a little bit of battery left, and it was still on. And I think it still kind of blips here a little bit. So that means that I have not erased all the data off of the phone. That means somebody who's really crafty, if I was involved in some sort of, I guess, if I was in some sort of criminal investigation, they would have the CSI unit and they would be able to pull the data from the phone, I guess, is what this really means. That I really can't go and sell the phone, not that it's worth anything, or I really can't do anything with the phone. So I'm still trying to wipe it. I did not wipe the phone, so I'm gonna, next week maybe, it depends if I can get some safety goggles between now and then, I might smash the phone with a hammer. So if you wanna see me smash my iPhone with a hammer, vote in the chat box. Let me know if that's something you want to see, if you want me to go get some safety goggles and do that. All right, let's see. So next, all right. So every week I talk about this. I'm volunteering with a group called Atlanta Beats COVID, ABC, and I'm still printing face shields. I print face shields about 15 hours out of the day. I print so many face shields that my 3D printer is now dying. Oh, hello, Paul. All right. Yes, that was your phone I was talking about. My 3D printer is now dying, so I'm trying to buy a new 3D printer is what I'm doing. And getting parts is next to impossible at this point. So it's good that my 3D printer broke, when I first got it, and I have all these spare parts for it. Knock on wood right now. But it's just kind of on its last leg. So last week when I was on this show, I said, hey, I bought a new 3D printer, but then I noticed my shipping got voided immediately. I mean, I bought the printer. It immediately was marked as shipped. They provided me with a tracking number, and then immediately afterwards, they voided the tracking number, but they didn't refund my order. They didn't change anything on the order. They just pretended like it was okay. And so what I did was I went out to Facebook. I think I posted this on Facebook, and I was kind of like, hey, am I getting scammed? What's going on here? And I actually got some good advice on Facebook. They were kind of like, hey, what happens is they take the order, then they realize that they don't have the inventory. And yeah, 3D printing, we're all 3D printing now. We're trying to print as all these face shields day and night. And so we're having a lot of problems. So what they realize is that they cancel the shipment when they realize they don't actually have the equipment. And then they just try to ship it later on and pray that you don't notice. So anyway, I did notice. I filed a complaint, and then they said they're going to refund me. I still haven't gotten the refund, but they say it's in process. And then I went somewhere else and I ordered the same printer again with a different website, and then that is shipped, and that shipment hasn't been canceled yet. So fingers crossed, I will have a new 3D printer. If I get this new 3D printer, I will assemble it. Not during the show, because that would take forever. But I will assemble it, and I will talk about it and tell you what I think about it on this channel. So look forward to that if you follow me when it comes to 3D printing. All right, so last week I showed you a 20-second motion-activated hand washing timer. So essentially, we are supposed to be washing our hands for 20 seconds at a time because we're in a global pandemic. I made this motion sensor. It plays music. So when you're reaching for the soap, the thought was that you'd wipe your hand over, just kind of motion over the Raspberry Pi, and then it would, play a song for 20 seconds. And I cut all the music. It was all royalty-free music here, and then and it cuts off after 20 seconds. So the bad news about this project is that I used something called Speaker Hat, and that product was discontinued, and it sat right on my Raspberry Pi. It was really cool. I have figured out how I'm going to redo the project. I'm going to do a version without the speaker hat now, and it's going to be the motion sensor, which you can buy anywhere, an LED, and a speaker with a 3.5 millimeter jack, which you can buy anywhere. So I'm going to do another version of this, but it's going to work exactly the same way. You pass your hand over the motion sensor, the light will light up for 20 seconds, the song will play for 20 seconds, and then you will and then you'll know how long to wash your hands for. So anyway, I'll produce those videos for my channel coming up here momentarily. All right, so may I ask you, last time I checked DIY Google Home Pi devices needs you to press enter to make it listen to you as I know. Is there an update that makes Google Home device work without the wake up word? Thanks. I'm not sure. Please clarify for me your question here. So do you have to press enter to make it listen to you? I've done I think 3 different versions of the Google Home on Raspberry Pi on my channel here. So I did one with a button. You had to press a button and then you could say your command. I did one with the kit. And the kit is really cool because the kit you can modify in such a way that you can do like almost a custom wake word. I did a kit version where I said wave, and then like 2 servo motors went back and forth. So if you go on my channel and search for servo motors, you might find that video where I did where I just said wave. I didn't press a button. I just hit wave and then it just started working. And I think I did another version where I don't think you press anything. I think you do have to say, hey, Google, and it works. So I've done a lot of different versions of Google Home or Google Voice service on a Raspberry Pi. It's been a few years, though. I think that was 2017 I did that version. So anyway, but I do have, a bunch of videos about that. All right, you say yes, yes. Okay, hopefully I've answered your question. If not, all right, speak up again. All right, moving on to the next thing I want to talk about. So I talked about this last time. It was basically this. I've done this project. It was a Raspberry Pi, and basically what you're saying, okay, let me hold this up in a way that doesn't block my face. Oh, that whoa, it's getting really dark. Okay. So let me do this in a way that doesn't block everything. All right, I'm trying to show you how to, okay, there we go. So this is a status light indicator, and it's a Raspberry Pi Zero and a unicorn hat, and then optionally I 3D printed a clear diffuser on top of it. And I was following this tutorial blog post. Let's see, where is I'm going to give you the link to that blog post here. And I did talk about this on my channel last week. All right, so anyway, so this is your this is the Microsoft Teams. If you are on Microsoft Teams, and you can have this anywhere in your home as long as it's connected to the internet, the same internet as your home, and it lets people know in your home, like your kids, your spouse, hey, I'm in a meeting, hey, I'm busy, or I'm available. So it's a really cool project. I finished the project this week. I also kind of made a different version of the project because I wanted to be able to change, like, what if you're not on Microsoft Teams and you just wanted to change the colors in a different way? So then I was like, okay, what if I just had a website and I could just do an API call and I could change it. This is blue, this is pink, and I could turn it off, and I could do red, yellow, green. So anyway, I figured out, how to do an API call. You have to be on the same network, of course, because this is internal API call, and I can change the light from my desk to this Raspberry Pi somewhere else in my house, and it's kind of cool. So if you want to see that project, let me switch it over to my browser here. All right, there's my browser, and you'll see that here is my status light project. So I'm going to give you my URL to my GitHub page, and you'll see that I have done a different version. So I made this into a little GIF here, and here we go. And now you can see the status light change as I go through on this little web page I made, which is just basically doing API call, and I've changed the colors of my status light of this Raspberry Pi Zero W with a unicorn hat on it. And so that is, I'm giving you out the URL. So this is all of the code that you'll need for this project. I did end up using Raspbian Lite. It's not required, but you're only running one little Python script. You didn't really need very much for this project. And I just made a decision to do that. And then if you do still want to do the original project, I kind of just took some pictures of how it looked on my website on my computer here. And so yeah, if you are on Microsoft Teams, you set it to available, and then the light changes to green. And then if you are, this is the original project, if you're busy, you set it to busy, and then the light turns red. And that's the entire project. So I hope you like that. I hope you'll try it out, and I will make a video. I'll go through the whole thing about this. I'll make two separate videos. One where I'm just doing the status light, where I'm changing it through an API call, and then one where I'm doing it through Microsoft Teams. So check that out. It's coming up on this channel. All right, so now we're moving on to new business. Okay, let's see. Oh, I do have a comment here. I wonder if it can fork like Alexa Pi. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I don't remember where. I think all of the information was not on GitHub for the how to make a Google Home with Raspberry Pi. I think it was on their website. So then it'd be harder to fork it over if it's not on GitHub. So, but I'm not really sure I understand your question. So let me know. Anyway, so the next thing, now we're moving on to new business. So every week I do a project that you can do on Alexa and a project you can do on Raspberry Pi. And then if I think of something else, we'll do something else. But for right now, let's talk about Alexa. And let's talk about gaming on Alexa. So I did talk a few weeks ago about games that I like on Alexa. I'm going to go a different direction now. This isn't the same thing. I'm going to feature this game called Starfinder, and I'm going to say, Alexa, play Starfinder.
Starfinder.
You know, I don't think these guys like us very much.
Your best friend, Raya Danviri, crouches next to you behind a large metal crate in one of the many dark alleys of The Spike, Absalom Station's gritty underbelly. From across the street, a pack of small-time gangsters blasts away at you, their aim as wild as their outfits. The thugs ambushed you after taking issue with the informal security services you've been providing in your neighborhood. They seem intent on removing you from their turf by any means. Raya looks to you.
Okay, so I'm an academic, not a mercenary. What's our play?
Are you someone who solves problems with force? Or do you look for creative solutions?
I look for creative solutions.
Okay. Do you use your charismatic personality to talk your way out? Or do you have magical powers?
Charismatic personality.
Raya notices your smile and eyes you nervously.
Oh no, you've got that look.
You raise your hands in surrender and step confidently out from cover. The startled thugs hold their fire. Head high, you walk directly toward the gray-skinned half-orc who seems to be leading this crew.
Okay.
You politely identify yourself
Alexa,
as
stop.
Lieutenant Navas.
Okay. All right. Putting that back on mute. Anyway, so this is a pretty involved game. There's a lot of stuff going on here, but where I'm going with this is not specifically, and I'm going to go over to my browser here, is not specifically about the game itself. I think the game is great, and it's kind of a choose your own adventure game and everything. Hi, Sam. Hi, Sam Finmore. from Taiwan. He woke up at 3 a.m. to watch this show. Thank you very much, Sam, for joining us. But the reason I bring up Starfinder is not because we should play the game, and absolutely I do think we should play the game, but I'm bringing it up because last week was Alexa Games Week, and you can you can make a game for Alexa, and that is a new kind of genre, new kind of place we can go as we look at skills, apps for Alexa, and that was a great example of one, Starfinder. So they highlighted here, and I will link to this over into my chat box here so you can get this information. But essentially, as a developer, they're encouraging you to make games now, and I think this is pretty cool. And so they've got a lot of chats on game design when you are looking at a game where you're going voice first in the game. And I think it's really cool. I think this brings a lot of opportunities, especially for the visually impaired, or you're at home and you just want to kind of lay down instead of, your eyes are tired. I think this is awesome. And so there is just a bunch of stuff to learn here, the technical aspect of it, the user design aspect of it. I think this is really cool. So anyway, all of this is free. You can get all of this information from Amazon for free. Just check out the link that I've posted and maybe think about creating your own game while you are at home gaming, probably during this global pandemic. So I'm just showing this to you, and but I do want to bring up, and I'm going to bring you and give you another link here. And I got this from the same, from Amazon, of course. And this is 8 things that we learned from Alexa Games Week. And I'm going to switch over back to my PowerPoint and lessons learned from Games Week. So this is designing your own game for Alexa. All right, so start with great audio, of course. And if you noticed, you don't actually hear Alexa talking. They've actually they've hired voice talent, or the person who made it is very voice talented, and they're actually doing a voice, they're actually, doing a lot of MP3s or doing a lot of streaming voice, which is awesome. Iterate on your game design. So, the first shot's not always going to be perfect. Try again. Use the tools available and innovate. So iterate on your game design, use the tools available, and innovate on your game. And then last but not least, make data-driven decisions. I think that's so smart. So anyway, just a couple takeaways if you are interested in game design. That's a project that you could do right at home. And you could, and of course, just go to, just check out these links and register as a developer on Amazon. So check it out. All right, next on my agenda, and still in the gaming theme, is Retropie is out. The new Retropie is out, and it works on Raspberry Pi 4. I always have this the wrong way. Raspberry Pi 4. All right, that was announced this week, I think, on Raspberry Pi. Let's go back to my browser here. Retropie. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Retropie, but essentially a lot of people were using it illegally, unfortunately, so I can't really talk about that because I don't want to talk about anything illegal on my channel, but people were using this essentially to go play old Nintendo games with their Raspberry Pi. And but the platform, the operating system for Retropie is free, and it is available to everybody. So basically, you go to Retropie, and I will give you this URL. I'll put that in the chat box here. And then you go to download, and you can download the image for Raspberry Pi 4, Raspberry Pi 3, Raspberry Pi 0. Don't recommend Raspberry Pi 0 because you're trying to play a game here, but you can. And basically, you create the image, you put the image on your micro SD card, and then you load it onto your Raspberry Pi, and then you've got a gaming console. Now this, you're going to download this, it's going to have no games on it. You've got to find some games. And that's where the legal-ish part kind of comes in, which is why I've never really talked about this on my channel, because I don't want to go there with you guys. But essentially then you've got to go find the games, and there's just all this whole legal stuff. Even if you own the game, like you own the cartridge from 30 years ago, you still can't technically, as far as Nintendo is concerned, technically you can't go download the ROM and say I'm playing this game legally, even though you own the cartridge 30 years ago, but your system died, or the cartridge is like, so anyway, let's talk about legal gaming now. You have this as a platform. You load this on your micro SD card. You load this up on your Raspberry Pi. Then I want to go over to Forum. And then from Forum, I want to go to General Discussion and Gaming. And from there is where to legally acquire content to play on Retropie. And then it goes into, what games they have, and you can download them legally and then put them on this Retropie that you've made and play some games. And then you can even get the controllers as well too. So if you want to make your own gaming console and play games from yonder year, this is how to do it. retropie.org.uk. And I've put the link in our discussion chat over here. So I hope you'll check that out. That is my project idea. Do that from your home during shelter in place. All right, next. Oh yeah, and so this is pretty much the end of my broadcast here. Now I'm revealing our video for next week on Tuesday at noon Eastern. I will post a Plex announcements for May 2020. And last month for Plex, I announced that they're giving away the TV function of Plex for free. And I went through this whole, how do you get it? What do you need to get it for last month? So if you haven't seen that, check that out. If you're looking to save money on your monthly streaming bill, you really are going to be saving money on your monthly streaming bill if you are with Netflix or with Hulu. If you are looking to cut Netflix or Hulu from your account or from paying for it monthly, this is it for you. So Plex, you could sign up for a free Plex account. Let me give you the link for the free Plex account, and please use, this is an affiliate link so that I get credit. I make some sort of commission off of this. Sign up for a free Plex account just for signing up with your email address and your password. You create your own password just for your email address. You can get literally thousands of movies, and this is international. You can watch thousands of TVs and movies through Plex. It is ad supported. There are ads that are play interstitially on these movies and TV. I have watched a ton of this stuff already for free. It's great. There are really not that many commercials in my opinion, but that is my opinion, of course. And for the US viewers, international people, now they have a partnership with Crackle, and with Crackle, they've added over 1,000 movies to their library. You can watch this on your computer, you can watch this on your smart TV, on your tablet, on your phone, whatever. You can watch this anywhere. You just have to sign up with a free account. So I'm going to talk about that on Tuesday. I'm going to give you more information about that. But if you want the lowdown right now and you don't want to wait for my video on Tuesday, I'm going to give you the link now and you can read the blog post. And here's the information from Plex that I'm going to talk about. All right. And so this is the Plex blog, and they're going to talk about, the movies that you can get through this free Plex offer. So it's really awesome. Anyway, I hope you'll check it out. I hope you'll use my link and sign up for an account. So provided that I am an influencer for Plex, I have to just, disclaimer that. But yeah, that's about it. So let's see. Let's go back to my PowerPoint here. And that is this week's show. And it's 3:29, so it's time for me to end the show. So if you have any questions, let me know. But otherwise, I always end the show by saying thank you to all the medical workers and first responders out there, all the sanitation workers, all the grocery store workers, everybody out there working hard so that I can stay safe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you everybody who joined me for this broadcast. I really appreciate it. I will be back next Thursday, same time, same place here on my YouTube channel. If you have any questions between now and then, just leave it in the comments and I will try to answer them during the broadcast. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody subscribing to me and watching, and have a great week. Bye now.